The British Isles, shrouded in mist and mystery, have a long and storied past. This land, with its rolling hills and ancient forests, has witnessed countless tales of heroism, conquest, and transformation. Before the arrival of the Romans, Celtic tribes inhabited these lands. These tribes, known for their fierce warriors and intricate artistry, lived in harmony with nature, their lives deeply intertwined with the rhythms of the earth. These skilled warriors and artisans left their mark on the landscape, their legacy visible in ancient monuments. Stonehenge, one of the most iconic structures, stands as a testament to their ingenuity and spiritual depth. In 55 BC, Julius Caesar led Roman legions to Britain, marking the beginning of Roman rule. The arrival of the Romans brought significant changes as they introduced new technologies, governance, and ways of life. The Romans, with their advanced engineering and governance, established a lasting presence. They built impressive structures, from grand villas to bustling towns, showcasing their architectural prowess and organizational skills. They built roads, towns, and fortifications, leaving an indelible mark on British culture. Roman roads, straight and enduring, connected distant parts of the island, facilitating trade and communication. Roman influence waned in the 4th century AD, leaving Britain vulnerable to invasions. As the Roman legions withdrew, the once protected land faced new threats from across the sea. Germanic tribes, including the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes, crossed the sea, seeking new lands and opportunities. These tribes brought with them their own customs, languages, and traditions, forever altering the cultural landscape of Britain. This period marks the beginning of the Anglo-Saxon era, a pivotal chapter in British history. The fusion of Celtic, Roman, and Germanic influences during this time laid the foundation for the rich tapestry of British culture that we know today. The Anglo-Saxons, fierce warriors and skilled seafarers, established kingdoms across England. These kingdoms, often at war with each other, gradually coalesced into larger entities. In the 10th century, under the reign of Athelstan, England emerged as a unified kingdom. North of England, in the rugged Highlands, the Kingdom of Scotland took shape. The Scots, a Gaelic people, fiercely resisted Anglo-Saxon dominance. Over centuries, they forged a distinct identity, laying the foundation for a unique cultural and political entity. The Norman conquest of 1066, led by William the Conqueror, marked a turning point in English history. The Normans, from northern France, brought their language, customs, and feudal system, transforming English society. The seeds of the British Empire were sown in the 16th century, during the Age of Exploration. This era was marked by European nations seeking new trade routes and territories, driven by the promise of wealth and the spirit of discovery. English explorers, driven by a thirst for adventure and riches, ventured across the globe. Figures like Sir Francis Drake and Sir Walter Raleigh became legendary, their voyages opening up new frontiers and establishing England as a formidable maritime power. They established colonies in North America, the Caribbean, and India, marking the beginning of Britain's global dominance. These early settlements were the foundation upon which the British Empire would build its vast network of territories. The British Empire, driven by trade, colonialism, and military might, grew to encompass vast territories across the globe. The East India Company played a crucial role in expanding British influence in Asia, while the Royal Navy ensured control over the seas. It became the largest empire in human history, its influence shaping the destinies of nations and continents. The British flag flew over lands from Africa to Australia and from the Americas to the Far East, leaving an indelible mark on world history. However, the empire's rise was not without its dark side. The pursuit of economic gain often led to the exploitation of local populations and resources, creating deep-seated inequalities and injustices. Colonial exploitation, slavery, and cultural suppression cast a shadow over Britain's imperial legacy, leaving lasting scars on the world. The impact of British rule is still felt today as former colonies grapple with the consequences of their colonial past. The 18th century witnessed the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, a period of unprecedented technological advancement and societal transformation. Britain, with its abundant resources and innovative spirit, became the cradle of this revolution. The invention of new machines such as the steam engine and the power loom revolutionized production. Factories sprang up across the country, attracting workers from rural areas and transforming the social fabric of Britain. The Industrial Revolution brought prosperity and progress, but it also created new challenges. Urbanization led to overcrowding, poverty, and social unrest. The gap between the rich and the poor widened, sparking calls for social reform. The outbreak of World War I in 1914 shattered the peace in Europe and plunged Britain into a conflict of unprecedented scale. Millions of young men answered the call to arms, fighting in the trenches of France and Belgium. The war had a profound impact on British society. The loss of a generation of young men left a lasting scar. The horrors of war shattered illusions of glory, leading to a reassessment of values and priorities. The war also weakened the British Empire. The enormous costs of the conflict drained the empire's resources, while the rise of nationalism in colonized territories challenged British rule. Just 2 decades after the end of World War I, Europe was once again engulfed in conflict. World War II, a global conflagration of even greater scale and brutality, tested Britain's resolve. Under the leadership of Winston Churchill, Britain stood defiant against Nazi aggression. The Battle of Britain, a pivotal air campaign, showcased the courage and resilience of the British people. Despite emerging victorious from World War II, Britain emerged from the conflict a changed nation. The war had exhausted its resources and weakened its global standing. The empire, already in decline, began to unravel as colonies fought for independence. Post-war Britain witnessed a period of social and economic change. The aftermath of World War II left the country in a state of rebuilding and transformation. Cities were being reconstructed, and there was a collective effort to restore normalcy in the lives of the British people. The government implemented social welfare programs, aiming to create a more equitable society. These initiatives were designed to support those who had suffered during the war and to prevent the economic disparities that had plagued the nation before. The National Health Service, established in 1948, provided free health care to all citizens. This was a monumental step towards ensuring that everyone, regardless of their financial status, had access to medical care. However, Britain faced economic challenges in the post-war era. The war had drained the nation's resources, and industries were struggling to recover. Rationing continued for several years, and the economy was slow to bounce back. The loss of its empire and competition from emerging economies led to a decline in its global influence. As former colonies gained independence, Britain had to navigate a new world order where its dominance was no longer assured. The country grappled with issues such as industrial decline, inflation, and social unrest. The 1970s were marked by economic turmoil, with high inflation rates and frequent strikes disrupting daily life. In the latter half of the 20th century, Britain joined the European Economic Community, the precursor to the European Union. This move was seen as a way to bolster the economy and strengthen ties with neighboring countries. This decision sparked debate about national sovereignty and economic integration, setting the stage for the Brexit referendum decades later. The question of whether Britain should remain part of the European Union became a contentious issue, reflecting deep divisions within the country. In 2016, Britain held a referendum on its membership in the European Union. The result, a narrow vote in favor of leaving, sent shockwaves across the world. Brexit, as it became known, exposed deep divisions within British society. The decision to leave the European Union had far-reaching implications for Britain's economy, politics, and place in the world. The process of negotiating Britain's exit from the European Union proved complex and divisive, fueling uncertainty and political turmoil. Brexit marked a turning point in British history, its long-term consequences still unfolding. It raised fundamental questions about national identity, sovereignty, and Britain's relationship with Europe and the wider world. Britain in the 21st century is a nation grappling with its past and shaping its future. The legacies of its empire, its industrial might, and its 2 world wars continue to shape its identity and its place in the world. Brexit has ushered in a new era of uncertainty and change. Britain is navigating its relationship with Europe, seeking new economic partnerships and redefining its role on the global stage. Despite the challenges it faces, Britain remains a nation of innovation, creativity, and resilience. Its people, shaped by a long and storied history, continue to make their mark on the world, embracing the opportunities and challenges of the 21st century.